We are live right now. This is our Song of Ice and Fire Shooting the Shits video, episode 1, with my man LT Giles here. LT?
What's up, everybody? This is like my man the Craig and Don said, this is our first shooting the shit, just talking about what we all love, Game of Thrones.
Excellent, excellent. The first thing I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about Shaggy Dog and Rickon a little bit, and I just wanted to go ahead and say that's my favorite direwolf, and I think their relationship is very unique. We'll talk about their relationship a little bit later. LT, who's your favorite direwolf?
My favorite direwolf is Graywin. I love Graywin and Rob's, connection and everything, and how Graywin he fought in battles and fucking took out Lannisters, kicked ass and taken names.
That's cool. I think that Shaggy Dog is um, he's more wild than the rest of them. And, everyone knows that Rickon from the get-go, he's running around Winterfell. He's 3 years old when the story starts, and I do believe he does have a warging ability, just like the rest of the Stark kids, but I don't think that he's that in tune with it, and so therefore he's not that in tune with Shaggy Dog. They more have a normal human to dog relationship like you and I would have with a dog. And he's not really old enough to kind of teach the dog, even if it was a poodle. Rickon's still a little child. He wouldn't really have the knowledge, or I mean, he could have the knowledge, but it wouldn't be that very well trained of an animal. So I think that Shaggy Dog has had to fend more for himself, and just kind of develop, more of a wild dog scenario other than a extension of one of the children. Does that make any sense at all?
It makes a lot of sense, and I'd have to say the same thing about Graywin and Rob, because Rob didn't have his working abilities, and I would say the same thing, that he trained him more, like a dog too.
Well, I would think it's safe to assume that Rob, especially how old he is, in his role, towards the end and everything, and Graywin was with him, even if it was as minute as him, having dreams about Graywin. I think he had those just like a kind of, John does with Ghost. You don't see him slipping skin into, the direwolf like, let's say, Bran. So Greywind, I like Greywind. He's really cool, but you never have a chapter, in the point of view of Rob, to get to hear his experience with Greywind. But I think he had to be in tune with him.
Yeah.
So Shaggy Dog being, up there in Skagos, with that little island off to the side, I always got the impression that those people up there were like wildlings on crack, and they were just nuts. And think about how cold it was. It reminded me of actually the Iron Islands a little bit, just the quick little description they had. It was very mountainous, and it's way up there in the north, so it's like bitter cold and little wild. Rickon is out there, with Shaggy Dog, and they're just kind of learning. But I think Shaggy Dog had to develop more of a, just try and stay alive thing without the help of Rickon. I think for a long time they might just have a normal human to dog relationship.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. There was something that Barda Porto and Master Payne were talking about. LT, I want to ask your opinion. They brought up a point that at the Battle of Blackwater, with all the wildfire and whatnot, they thought that maybe something was awoke in the water, like a kraken or something like that. Do you think that's possible?
It's definitely possible. I mean, um, yeah, it's definitely possible that maybe the Kraken, was coming and saw the battle, and maybe somebody spotted it, and it was just, looking on and seeing. Because I mean, I don't know if the Kraken is just an animal. It might be it's a god, right? The drowned god. So maybe it's just overwatching the battle.
Nice. I that you were talking about, maybe there was a kraken around the time that all of that stuff was happening. I think they said something more along the lines of, because of the battle, something was awakened from its sleep, or at least that's what I think they were trying to get down, or at least that's just how I heard it in my head, which I think is really cool. That would be wonderful if that happened. It just, like, with all the chaos, it just like doom, just like awoke the freaking Kraken, but in the way that Davos went down. But I I don't see a Kraken just hanging out in Blackwater Bay. I think a Kraken would be way further out at sea. Um,
Yeah.
I may be wrong, I just I don't see, with all the chaos and everything, I don't see how all of a sudden there's a Kraken involved. I mean, it would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. That would literally, if that happened, I would die a happy man. Like, that was wonderful. If that actually went down. But I just don't see a Kraken hanging out in Blackwater Bay.
So
So
you believe that he possibly was summoned there?
uh no, I don't think there was a Kraken there at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to think about, like, how the way that it's described when Davos gets pulled under. It's like something is literally, like, grabbed hold of him, and kept going with him, and he was all dazed and confused, and it was like putting two and two together. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. But I love the idea. It's one of my favorites, but I don't see a Kraken hanging out in Blackwater Bay.
Yeah.
Um, was there a certain scene that I heard you talking about earlier, about Wyman Manderley, and if there was a certain scene during dinner that you would flip out?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like I think that a scene that would really excite me and make me really, I'd be really excited to see is, in Death to Dragons, when the Freys and the Manderleys are going at it, and they start attacking each other, and all of Wyman Manderly's men, they go around him, kind of like they surround him and pull their swords out, and like they're protecting him, and they're like, basically challenging the Freys to keep going. And that's when I believe Ramsay, no, it was Bruce Bolton. Yeah, it tells him, like, basically the same thing as Robert did in that tournament. He's like, stop this madness, and and they stop, and he's like, you could go and use that energy against Dennis and all them.
Yeah, it was really cool. Not a whole lot of light had been shined on the Manderleys at that point. As far as I think we were concerned, he was just a big fat guy, expected to be lazy and whatnot, but he turned out to be a extremely intelligent person. And the fact that all of his guards, like you said, he was sitting there, and then, like, they like turned around real quick, like in quick defense, to
Yeah.
protect him. And one of his sons went down, actually, at the Red Wedding. Um, what what was going on in your mind when Davos was talking to Wyman, and all of a sudden, Wex comes out. Do you remember Wex?
Oh yes, definitely.
Hey, dude, Wex was Ironborn, dude.
Yeah, he was Theon Squire.
Yes, and so like, and he pulls out that little knife and like flings it,
Yeah,
and lands on the map, and like Davos is like, damn it.
yeah. Like I don't want to go there. But before that, it's very one of my favorite parts too when Wyman Manderly is talking about the arrogance of the Bolts and everybody talking about how um, the Starks are the traitors and talking about the fake Arya and just all the deception that they're causing and stuff and Wyman Manderly's telling Davos the arrogance of these people. He knows that he wants justice and revenge for what they did to the Starks and his kid and everything.
So what do you what about Rickon being in Skagos with all of those wildling people? He's being raised right now by a wildling, Osha, like she just took him, and with all his confusion, of all the things happening to him, it's like, oh, Bran went through the same exact thing, but Bran was a little older. George R. R. Martin said that the hardest chapters to write were Bran, him being as young as he is. So try to put yourself real quick in the mind of someone who's even younger. So what do you think Rickon might with all of his, he's got the Stark blood, even when things were still cool, in Winterfell when the family was still together, Rickon was still running around like a little wild child, so even with all this upbringing and stuff like that, do you think he's going to restore like maybe that fire, when it comes to House Stark at least, or
Yeah,
like what do you think Rickon's going to do, man?
I think all this time Rickon's been, learning from Asha about how to be a Stark and what it means to be a Stark, and that all these people on this island, the stuff they're facing, like it says, like you said that in the dream that Shaggy Dog attacked or killed the unicorn. I imagine there's a lot of stuff on that island that they had to face, and then I imagine that they had to come in contact with people on the island. Like some of these hardcore wildlings, that are really tough and a lot of he had to get tough by being around them, and possibly that they could be protecting him from some of that stuff. He got in league with them, and we're going to probably find that out in the next book. And I also believe that Howland Reed will be on Skagos and somehow see Rickon.
Ooh, that's good. Helen Reed is in Skagos. That's awesome. You just reminded me, man. Like you were talking about how Shaggy Dog had to, fight the unicorn, and there's no telling what else Shaggy Dog had to do. I think that Rickon is still at such an age to where he's like, I'm scared. I don't know what that is. I don't know what to do. I'm shaking in my boots. Like if some big, mythical beast or whatever is out there, in this Song of Ice and Fire stuff. Like there's no telling what'll turn up. I think Rickon would be scared. He wouldn't necessarily have the intelligence at the moment to like warg into his Shaggy Dog and intelligently try to, defend and ward off or fight.
Yeah.
You forget how young he is, and so you think about if there's more of these scenarios, of Shaggy Dog coming in contact with all of these different things, and if both of them are still alive, I think that Shaggy Dog had to do most of it, if not all of it, absolutely by himself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like there was no guidance from his master whatsoever. And no, I'm not hating on Rickon. I love Rickon. I just think that he's too young. I think he's too young to even. And I think he does have warg capabilities, but he's just too young to really do anything with it. So, do you have anything else to say about the wolves or anything like that?
So far, I'd have to say, like, out of all the Starks, the best warger who wargs the best is probably Arya, if you think about it. I mean, how she could warg across continents into Nymeria. I mean, that's amazing.
That's strong. Yeah, that's very strong. Do you remember what you were talking about? The risk that certain characters have.
Yeah, well, what I was telling you is, as far as you know, like Cersei, she took a big risk because when Ned came to her and told her, you know, as soon as Rob gets back, you should be gone because he would probably kill you and your children, knowing that they're not his. And Cersei was really confident and told Ned, you know, you played a Game of Thrones, you want to die. She was basically really confident that Robert was going to die at the hut. And what I was saying is that she took a big gamble because as a warrior, it's very possible that he would have died from the boar. I mean, it's possible. And all I'm saying is that, if Rob didn't die, and he came back, yeah, Cersei's gone, and basically the story that we know would probably happen. And also, I was saying how Ramsay Snow was taking a gamble by going to Lady Hornwood and taking over her place and attacking people and stuff and taking big risks because Rob wasn't even defeated yet, and eventually they would have dealt with him and he would have been hanged and Roose Bolton could have done nothing about it.
Yeah, I like both of those. Certainly a political move on both houses. Cersei and Ramsay. I mean, this is just cojones. Like they really kind of jumped the gun, but it worked in their favor. We've seen evil triumph over good this entire series. Just it's bad. And Cersei and Ramsay are probably, and I agree with you, both of them have taken tremendous risk. You asked me a question earlier about Night's Watch or King's Guard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defend myself on that. It feels like I guess from mine and your standpoint, or anybody that's read the books or whatever, it means so much more to be on the wall and to defend what's going on, but the people in both worlds don't know what really either party is doing. Definitely being on the wall, you're doing much more, and it's a lot cooler. I mean, like, yeah, it's freezing cold. I would absolutely hate, but like I said, there's all this magical stuff going on, up at the wall. It's just so cool. There is a giant wall. There's giants and giant frost spiders, and Cold Hands is running around doing this and that. So I would definitely have to go with Night's Watch. It would be way more fun to me.
It's either protect the realm or protect the king. And you look like you want to defend the realm. Me, what I said I was joking, but also, I guess, honest about, as far as if I was the King's Guard, I could, go and bang handmaidens all day, or, ladies, and, I love women, so that's possibly what my intentions be. But also, all joking aside, to be able to protect the king is also a very noble thing. And, I think that'd be an honor to protect the king. And you did say that most of the king guards just stand there, but also they do keep him safe. They're like his secret service agents, and stopping attempts and assassination attempts, and if anybody does attack them.
I mean, except for maybe King Robert, who was actually worthy to be a freaking king. That was king.
Yeah.
It's like finally this giant rebellion happened. And these dragons have been gone for a really long time. I would have said something a long time ago. I'd have been like, where's their firepower? I mean, like, King Aerys, he always held the wildfire, over everybody's head, but I still think that a mutiny could have happened within King's Landing, and the whole thing could have been avoided. I think Jon Arryn could have pulled it off. I think that Jon Arryn could have taken out King Aerys, like within the within the Red Keep.
Well, Jon Arryn wasn't there yet. I believe Jon Arryn was still in the Vale when that was all going down. Or no. Jon Dale was fighting besides Robert, so Jon Arryn wasn't in King's Landing.
No, Jon Arryn used to be the hand of the king to King Aerys, did he not?
No, King Robert. He was in King. He was in the King to Aerys. The hands of the King of King Aerys were John Cunnington. I forgot the guy's name before he died. But yeah, Aerys had like 3 hands, but no, Jon Arryn was just hand the king to Robert.
No, and King Aerys also had Tywin.
Yeah, that's right. Tywin, John Cunnington, and then right before he died, there was another guy because Jaime took him out and took out King Aerys.
Nice. All right. Sorry, man. I spaced out there for a minute, dude. Tywin could have taken out Aerys from within if he wanted to.
Definitely. Well, there's a passage in Feast for Crows where Jaime is thinking about Rhaegar, telling him that there's going to be changes, and they possibly think that Rhaegar was going to, take the throne from Aerys because he was not a king.
I think that Rhaegar would have made a great king.
I agree.
Yeah, and I hate that he had to do the whole Helen and Troy, thing to steal Lyanna. I'm Team Rhaegar all the way. I like Rhaegar. I like Rhaegar a lot. He was a ladies' man. He was an awesome fighter. Like there was one day, like I think he read in a book about a fighter, and like he just like he quit everything else and then was like, dude, like I want to train. I want to be the best that I can be. It's like, dude, that's pretty cool. Even at such a young age, he realized that. And then he was a musician, dude. Like he was a rock star. Rhaegar was a freaking rock star, and what like he really was.
I love the story of that it was Mera and Jojen tell the story to Bran about how Rhaegar played the harp so great that it made Lyanna weep, and then Benjen teased her about it, and then Lyanna poured a cup of ale over Benjen's head.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, man,
that's the whole. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say that one of the things I was thinking about is the whole thing at Summerhall, or no, Harrenhal, I apologize, the attorney and everything. They say the Night of the Laughing Tree, and they don't know who it was. Some people think it was Lyanna. Some people think it might have been Howland. Some people think it could have been Ned or even Benjen.
It
But
what
anyways, what,
dude,
what I,
Howland was getting beat up by all them other kids,
yeah,
and
but
like,
this is what I was going to say. What I want to know is from after that to the Tower of Joy, Howland must have trained and became a badass warrior. Because if you think about it, Howland Reed and Ned were the last people standing at the Tower of Joy when they fought five of the baddest, no, seven of the, no, sorry, three of the badass King's Guardsmen, and it was just him and Ned standing at the end. So Howland must have trained to become way better with the sword or something.
dude, Sir Arthur Dane was there.
Yeah. Well, my point is, what I'm making is that Howland Reed from Harrenhal, what we were talking about, had to train and get a lot better with the sword to be able to be the last one standing with Ned. You know.
Well, I I kind of agree with you. Like he definitely would have had to train after that. He is a highborn after all. So definitely he would have had to train. But like you got to think about who the people from the neck are. Like they're these kind of shorter people. Which in my mind, if I'm tall and lanky, this little guy is going to be able to bob and weave, around me. But they always said that the people of the neck, or the Kranich men, that they were like really shady and like shisty. Like you don't see them right now, but they see you. So like they have tricks up their sleeves. I think that if Howland Reed and Ned Stark were to both of them face off toe to toe with Sir Arthur Dane, Howland Reed would have to kind of stand back and do things like kind of. I heard on the internet, like little, like fire pouches or whatever, but a lot of it had to do with combat. But both of them together with, fighting Sir Arthur Dane with the Sword of the Morning, there he had to do something else than just straight up skill with a blade. You know
Yeah.
what I'm like, and Ned. I mean, Ned's a badass, but I don't think he's got this giant fucking great sword or whatever versus Sir Arthur Dane and a Kranigman. I mean, like they had to do something really special, really cool, and so I think Howland Reed might have had just uh, the little pouch with like something in it, and like he just like threw it over there, and like it blew up real quick, it's like Sir Arthur Dane's like, I'm blind, and then like Ned come in or like it was epic teamwork, it had to be, but
Yeah,
I
hold that thought. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
all right. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Have to like cut this part out and do like epic intermission. It's like dun 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 dun. It's like popcorn. Like popcorn's like floating around. Get a little hot dog and a pretzel, some Twizzlers, and then like a big like 72 ounce, like soda, a big old straw, just like flows across.
So you're saying that Howard Reed had something up his sleeve, some kind of special um, thing.
Like the people of the neck kind of seem like they always did like guerrilla warfare, or tactics, and stuff like that. Like people had to go through there, and they're just like constantly watching them. And I mean, for crying out loud, like Greywater Watch is on a floating island in the swamp that you can only get there if you know where it is.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, it's like these swamp people, you know, have magic stuff up their sleeve, you know, and so it's not going to shock me at all, you know, when Howland Reed, not being a fighter, he started dabbling into magic, and he became a mage instead of a warrior. You know, like, I mean, not like mage. Howland Reed ain't gonna show up and start shooting frickin' firebolts and lightning bolts, you know, out of his hands and whatnot. But I mean, like, you know, he may have dabbled into his people in a better way to defend himself than, like, you know, armor and his shield and, you know, being a knight.
I like House Reed's sigil because it's the alligator. It's pretty unique.
Gator. Gator's gonna get you, man. Well, LT, I think I got about like 10 to 15 more things written down there. I know we said we were gonna do a 5-minute video. This Joker's like extra long, and we probably recorded it all cattywampus and whatnot.
So you want to check it, or you want to just keep on going?
Um, I mean, we got a lot of good stuff here, man. We could end it here and check it, and you know what? If it turns out okay, this will be episode 1.
Sweet, awesome.
All right. Well, anyways, Donnie. Oh man, Don Witt, the Kraken Witt. I'm gonna try to work on my Greyjoys a little bit more. They're tough. I want to make sure that I do Victorian justice. I was also gonna do a couple more character spotlights of the Greyjoys. I don't know which order I want to go into. I have plenty of stuff on both. I'm also doing the Song of Ice and Fire shorts, little 2-minute clips, just kind of something to think about. I really like doing them. Got a lot of feedback. LT, thanks for coming on, man. LT and I, we've talked. This is probably our 5th or 6th time at least doing a Google Hangout to at least you know, just kind of shoot the shit of stuff, and really that's what we decided to want to do, and we're gonna try to do this regular thing, working on the quality of the videos and whatnot. LT, on my screen, he's just sitting down there in the corner, just looking all cool and whatnot. LT, is there any shout out or anything you want to say, man?
I just want to say that I feel very honored to be here with the Kraken and Don, and I'm just we all love Game of Thrones and we all love to talk about it, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a review of the history of Westeros, the untold history of Westeros, World of Ice and Fire. I'll be doing that. Look for that soon. I'm almost finished. I'll be doing a review on that, and then I'm almost finished with the Duncan Egg series. I'm on the 3rd part, and I'll probably be doing a review on each of those. But yeah, very grateful to be here. And tune in next time, guys, for the next Shoot the Shit episode.
Definitely. Shoot the Shit episode 2 coming up. Hey, LT, man, I love how you know, everybody's doing videos of you know, A Song of Ice and Fire and A World of Ice and Fire. I know you want to do a video of that, but like your last Dreamscapes video, you know, like I haven't personally read those things, you know, and like you tell me about the Dunkin' Eggs stuff. Even on the side, it's very educational for me. I actually haven't gotten my hands on those books, so I'm a little in the dark, and I'm still putting the pieces together. But the way that you know, you did your last Streamscape video, that was amazing, and it was very educational for me, and literally you had my undivided attention, and
Yeah,
I
I was really impressed with Unsound Variations, which was one of George R. Martin's short stories about chess. And like I said in my review, I strongly recommend everybody to read Dream Songs. But you could buy it for like $8.99 in the Google Play Store, Volume 1 and Volume 2, and it's a bunch of short stories that are really good. They sink you in, and there's a lot of good ones in there, and I strongly recommend it because that's how Variations had my mouth dropped. It was really good, really well done. And there's a lot of memoirs by George R. Martin, talking about his life and what he's been through and stuff. And yeah, I strongly recommend it because, of course, we all love Game of Thrones, but he's a phenomenal writer.
Nice. Yeah, I really I like to hear you talk about those things, and when you're done with the dunk and egg, man, it just drop some knowledge on us,
Oh,
and yeah, like let me know how you feel, man. You made me want to pick those up. I felt like kind of too preoccupied with the story that I already have in my lap, and then like
yeah.
taking off.
I got one of Laura's videos saved of she talks about the tragedy at Summerhall and a theory of hers, but I can't watch it until I finish the third part because it'll probably spoil for me. But I'm really excited to watch her video as soon as I finish the third part of the Duncan Egg Chronicles. They're going to be releasing a book with all three of the Duncan Eggs in it recently, coming soon. It's going to come out. And there's also a graphic novel out there you could read.
See, you know what? I think that's part of my problem, man. Like, I don't have a tablet or anything. I do have my computer here, but I just have my phone, and I know you do all of that on your phone, which mad props to you. But
Yeah.
sometimes I just feel like I got to get my hands on the damn book. You know what I'm saying?
When Winds of Winter comes out, I'm going to buy it for Google Play and a hardback copy.
Cool. So just real quick, we're about to hit it here. I think we're just going to continue down the list, and we're just going to add to the list. Next time on Shooting the Shit, we're going to find out what LT Giles, his ultimate house, who he pledged allegiance to, 100%. We're going to find that out for LT. We're also going to find out if Lady Stoneheart came across Jon Snow. I mean, they're not going to cross paths right now, but later down the road, if they cross paths, would Lady Stoneheart, actually have anything inside of her for Jon Snow? We all know she hates him. All right, and LT, you said you think after the Winds of Winter, it don't matter who sits on the Iron Throne. Is that right?
That's definitely true.
All right. Well, LT, man, thanks for coming by, buddy. Like, I really enjoy doing this with you. Like I said, this is like our 5th or 6th time doing the Google. So, I don't know. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.